more than 25 million registered players around the world, Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft is a digital collectible card game based on Blizzard's enormously popular Warcraft universe. The game has ignited a passionate community of players, including both novices and professional players, competing in big prize tournaments such as Nvidia's Hearthstone Pro-Am, an international tournament where pro and amateur players compete online for their share of a $25,000 prize pool and qualification points for the Hearthstone World Championship. In this video, we speak to several of the world's very best pro Hearthstone players to find out their game-winning secrets and proven strategies to vanquishing the competition.
The first thing for making a strong deck is having a strong curve. So having a bunch of good turn 2 plays, turn 3 plays, turn 4 plays, turn 5 plays. You want to be able to get ahead and win the game that way. You want all your cards to work together for like a coherent game plan. So if you're playing an aggressive deck like Mech Mage, you certainly don't want cards like Healbot. If you're playing a control deck like basically every Priest deck, you don't want cards like Mind Blast because it just does not fit with your plan. And then the last thing you want in a strong deck is powerful synergies.
Which is like when all the cards within the deck work really well together.
Something like Rogue with a lot of like weapons and Tinker Oil and also like prep and stuff like that.
Stuff like Alchemist Circle, Juggler Unleash, Grom Taskmaster, so on.
The most popular deck that I play or am known for is Handlock, which is where a lot of the cards work with your hero power, so they like synergize with the hero itself and the cards go with it.
The decks that people play aren't exactly created by one person. It's more like it evolves over time, over small changes by the community as a whole.
There's a lot of fun things going on when there's like a whole new release or there's nerfs, that kind of stuff. But when you're at the point here, like months after an expansion, you're gonna come up with a good deck by copying one of the ones that you keep playing against, and maybe choosing a card or two different. Hunter's been nerfed like I don't even know. Many times, at least 5 times that come to mind real quick, and yeah, they don't go away. As much as Blizzard doesn't want them in the game, it seems the game is still revolving around Hunters. So Hunters are there, and the Hunter deck is basically you play a bunch of annoying things in the early game, and if your opponent doesn't have an answer, he's too far behind on life to do anything in the late game.
I concede.
First one is practice. You have to play a lot.
Oh no, I would put card value as like 1 and 2. Is really important because it allows you to make decisions on when to use the cards, when to hold your cards, when it's okay to use your big board clear cards. You want to trade your minions favorably with your opponents, which will leave your board stronger.
Another one is research. Yeah, you can start up from nothing. You can climb the ladder of knowledge if you want, but if you do research, you can run up that ladder pretty quick.
Because usually what people do in Hearthstone is play certain decks, and they all are built similarly, so that when you're playing a deck, you want to know your matchup based on what your opponent's playing, and know what cards you need to get good value out of to put you in the best position to win.
Look in the community, the Reddit, get ideas on decks. There's an amazing amount of resources out there.
Try to go face. Try to hit your opponent in the face every time it's reasonable to do so. Like if you're not sure whether you should trade or go face, I say just go face. Usually when it's right to trade, it's like pretty obvious and you know you have to do it.
Another thing is just like not to be flustered over losses or anything like that. You know, I don't think Hearthstone is designed in the first place to win every game.
This is the most important one. It's actually patience. If results is what you want to take up close to the full turn duration, even though your opponent will hate you. Even that is an advantage. Your opponent will be frustrated and want to get the match over quicker, and he'll actually be more likely to screw up his turn.
I think a lot of people are worried about getting rid of minions as soon as possible because they don't want to take that damage. So they'll utilize board clear mechanics or spells too early when they should hold on to them, and probably wait for their opponent to overplay their hand.
There's just this fundamentals that you really need to learn. For example, you know, if you have a 6/6 creature and a fireball, and they have a 6/6 creature, it's better to fireball the creature, so your 6/6 creature can not only do 6 damage that turn, but continue to do 6 damage the following turns. A lot of players don't play out the random aspects first. some people ping and then arcane missiles, which like blows my mind, especially when they get perfect RNG right after that. You want the randomness to happen first in the turn, so then you can actually plan your strategy around the randomness.
And then the last mistake would be playing while on tilt, which means like when you're frustrated or angry or upset or whatever, when you're not in the right mindset to, make good decisions. When you get unlucky, it's natural to get frustrated, to get upset, like, oh, I can't believe that happened. But you want to sort of kind of try to gradually train yourself out of that way of thinking and into a way of thinking where you don't get frustrated.
So yeah, it's Hearthstone. There's random stuff, and you could play your best, you could do absolutely every correct move and still get destroyed. Basically, you're better off just ignoring who your opponent is every single time. In fact, a lot of people play very standard decks, very similar ways, very predictable. Playing into that predictability is important, and realizing that it's just the same if his name is, noob number 302 or Kripp or Kalento. It doesn't matter.
If you'd like to learn more about the Hearthstone Pro-Am, please visit the following website.